Hi guys, we are back. We are number 7, and this is our Tuesday 7-3B more notes. And let's take a look and see how we're doing here. I hope this is starting to make sense for you. First of all, as we see this, this is where we like to keep the 1 visible so we know it's a number, and change this to plus a negative 3B. Change this one to plus a negative 5B. So I'm just waiting a minute. Everybody ready? Awesome. Let's start out with the very first monomial in the first spot, and we are going to put arrows above and across to this 2a, and arrows above to the negative 5b. So first thing we've got, this is a problem just like number 6, but I think it's worth going through. 1a, 1 times 2 is 2, and a1 times a1 is a squared. Plus 1a, always remember you've got to do this one twice and then this one twice. 1a times all the way over to negative 5b would be a negative 5. And now we've got that same thing, an a and a b. So we place them in alphabetical order right across, right next to each other. Okay, now we're doing the lower arrows. If it's easier for you to do them one at a time and not put them in right away, that's the way I'm going to do it for a while. Negative 3b times 2 is a negative 6, and then we've got the AB, so AB. And I look in the middle, I'm seeing those two alike, so I know I'm doing it right. Plus, then we've got negative 3b all the way across, and negative 3 times a negative 5 is a positive 15. Good check on your signs. And B, 1 and 1 is B2. 1 plus 1 is 2. So I bring down my first monomial. I add my like terms. Negative 5 plus a negative 6 is a negative 11. Then I just use the AB plus, and then I bring down 15b squared. Nice. Okay, great job. Let's hit number 8. And this time we're going to stay on the left side of the sheet and make sure that we can get to every problem. So please stay with me. Pause it whenever you need to. We are on number 8. Number 8, notice this says negative, or it says 8x minus 5, so we're going to go plus a negative 5, and then 8x plus 5. So we've got plus a negative 5, 8x plus 5. So the first thing we do is the top arrows. 8 times 8 is 64, and then we've got x1, and x1 is x squared. Seems like that's the usual thing for the first one is x squared. Now we're going all the way down to 5, and we get 8 times 5 is 40, and then all we have is an x. Now we're ready for the below arrows. Negative 5 times 8 plus a negative 40. And x, right? And you can see I needed an x. They should be alike. Plus negative 5 times a positive 5 is a negative 25. Okay? So we've got our like terms in the middle. That's exactly what we want. We bring it down. 64x squared plus, so we've got 40x plus a negative 40x. Ooh, 40 plus a negative 40, that would be 0. Subtract, and we get 0. So we're going to put 0x in here just as a placeholder for right now. And so you know that they're very similar and looks the same to you. And we get a negative 25 coming down. So now you look at it and you say, well, I don't need 0 times x because 0 times x is 0. So now I'm just going to rewrite my answer at a negative 25. You could also write it 64x squared minus 25. Both of those mean exactly the same thing. Okay, let's do one more of those. Let's see what our time is. Now we better go down to number 10, and you can try number 9. They're exactly the same, and see if you can come up with a similar answer. Let's take a look then at number 10, and it says 3a, so I'm going 2 arrows. 3 times 3 is 9, a squared, and then I'm going for the other arrow. which is plus 12, and then I've got that a. Okay, now I'm going to the below the line arrows. 4 times 3 is 12, and I've got an a. And then I'm going all the way to the 4. 4 times 4 is 16, no variables. Notice I've got my like terms in the middle. So that gives me 9a squared plus 12a plus 12a is 24a plus 16. Whoa, those are going pretty fast. Okay, I'm a pause. You put me on pause if you need to. And this number 11, very similar, except you've got plus a -9 and plus a -9. Okay, so you can do that problem also and try it out. Make sure you've got it. Number 12. This one has a higher variable here. I did change it to plus a -2. I'm going to put the ones in. And now let's take a look at it. It says x to the third times x to the third. Okay? So we know how to multiply 3 times 3, or I'm sorry, we're multiplying 1 times 1 and we get 1x, and we're adding 3 plus 3 and we're getting 6. So that's a real good reminder. We add the exponents, we get 6 when we're multiplying. Now we're going to go to the next arrow, and we've got 1 times 2 is 2, and we've got an x to the third right there. Okay? Now we're going below. -2 times 1 is a -2, and we've got x to the third. Okay, we've got now our second arrow. -2 times +2 is a -4. So we're bringing it down. X to the 6th power plus, we add those two together, and they are 2 plus a -2 is 0. So I'm going to get 0x to the third plus -4. Final answer, x to the 6th plus a -4, or x to the 6th minus 4. These mean the same. You are more than welcome to just leave it just like that. I'm hoping that you can go down to this when you see the 0. Okay. Number 13, you always got to throw a fraction in there, Mrs. Razorberg. Well, it is part of our deal, okay? So let's take a look at it, and the first thing we're going to do is put a 1 under the whole numbers because we need a top and a bottom. So here we go. Same steps every time. First number times the first number. 1 times 1 is 1, and 2 times 2 is 4. We've got an x1 and an x1, x squared. Okay? Pausing just a minute so you can get that down. Now we've got plus 1. We're going all the way down. So we've got 1 times 4 is 4, and 2 times 1. Notice tops times tops, bottom times bottom, 2, and we've got 1x. Okay? Going below now. Go to the first one, 4 times 1, that's the top, over 1 times 2, and we've got an x, plus 4, we're going to the next arrow, right there. 4 times 4 is 16, and we don't need to do the ones. Woo! All right, so let's see what we got. First of all, we always bring down the first one, 1/4 x squared. Everybody got that? Now we realize underneath here I'm going to put 4 divided by 2, that's 2x, plus 4 divided by 2, that's 2x. Okay? So what's 2x plus 2x is 4x. Notice we're just using the x, plus 16. So it really wasn't as difficult as you might have thought. Just a reminder, guys, that tomorrow is Wednesday. We do our try these practice sheets. I always include problems that are going to be right on the assignment, so make sure you are ready to go. Print them off, and we will see you tomorrow.